again with the story.
Mario dies at the end.
What? He does?
You don't... What? Did you never finish Galaxy?
Say Mario dies?
They all do, yeah.
What? Who all dies?
All of them. All of the characters die.
Are we talking about the same game?
Yes.
I'm talking about Nintendo Marrow. What is up, everybody? We are back again. Jacob, after, what has it been, like 6 years? You're back on the podcast now?
6 years.
It feels like it's been so long.
It has been a while.
3D Mario games.
Mm-hmm. Who better to talk about it with you than me?
Yes, exactly. Of our crew, you are the only person that really stands toe-to-toe with me. Not like it's a competition or anything, but when talking about Nintendo stuff, you're my guy. That's why you were here for Switch 2. So we're here to talk about very important things today, 3D Mario games, and where they rank. Now, I have old man notes here to help me through, and you've got some notes too, to talk about which games are the best and which ones are maybe not the best. And maybe along the way, we'll give off a few hot takes. Who knows? We'll see where it goes.
I know I've got some.
Oh, we're going to be hearing some hot takes today?
I don't know. Again, as we knew from my first episode, my first time on the podcast, my hot takes may not be so hot.
Well, we'll see.
They may be lukewarm. I don't know. Or the correct take.
Well, we know how we feel about some things, but I don't know how you feel about some of the games that we're going to be talking today. So
let's dive into it.
Right, let's do it. We're talking about 3D Mario. So first one we're talking about is the original king, the one we got on the screen today, Super Mario 64. How do you set something like this up? I mean, Mario 64 is a essential part of many of our gamer age's lives.
Super Mario 64 was actually my first console game growing up.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So Mario 64 has kind of a very near dear piece of my heart. Super nostalgic for it.
Yeah.
And I come back to it every so often too, which is always kind of the charm of it.
That is one of the things I think that often gets overlooked with the title too, is that, I mean, this might just be us, but of the games we're going to talk about today, it is the best one where it's just like, I want to play a little bit of Mario 64 today, or a little bit of Mario today. It's the 3D Mario. It's the easiest one to just play get a couple of stars and just enjoy. So 1996, N64, brand new, came out with this banger, and one of the games that Jacob and I played when he was over last was Bubsy 3D.
I was gonna bring that up.
Close to the release of Mario 64 was Bubsy 3D. Notoriously really bad game.
Super Mario 64 kind of revolutionized 3D movement to where most 3D games utilized tank controls, right? So you've got your Bubsy 3D, you got your Resident Evil, the original on PlayStation 1, and
Croc.
to a degree 2 and 3, and Croc. Yes, I had that one on my list too that I was going to bring up. Notoriously hard to control because of the fact that it utilizes tank controls.
The game itself is structured similarly enough to a 3D platformer like Mario 64. But it's just how the devs were like, how can we control in a 3D environment? So they decided left and right on the D-pad makes you strafe your character, and then you push forward to go forward. Whereas Mario 64, we've got the analog stick, or whatever they decided to call it on the N64. I don't know if it's called analog stick or something. But I think it's the first console to do the stick. I think it was before PS1.
Yeah, it was before DualShock.
Yeah, so 3D movement, and if you cock the stick a little bit this way, Mario will walk, and if you flick it all the way to the side, then he's going full speed. So really revolutionized a lot of simple stuff that we really take for granted today, and for it to hold up as extremely well as it does today and be as playable as it is really a testament to how fun and how good and how well it was designed.
Super Mario 64, I feel like, laid the groundwork for a lot of other 3D platformers that came out after the fact, just because of the fact of how it controlled and how you moved around in 3D space.
Yeah. similarly to you, I had Mario 64 growing up. I don't think it was my first game, but I think maybe I started gaming earlier than you, or maybe you just started with later consoles than I did. But I think the first game I played might have been Mario Brothers 3 on the NES or something like that. I grew up with some old stuff because my dad was interested in some stuff, but Mario 64 was in more than any other game when I was at that age growing up. And we talked about this in our nostalgia episode, but just the warmest of blankets just to put the game on, look at the graphics, hear the music. It really brings you back to that time. And I'll say this about nostalgia is that you can be nostalgic about things and then not still be good.
Like Glover.
Sure. So
exactly.
So you put in Glover, you might still be super nostalgic and be like, oh, this is a warm blanket, but
it's absolutely true. Yeah, no, Glover is a warm blanket for me still. Even though I know that past Atlantis, the whole rest of the game is terrible. It's still that just Atlantis in general is just that warm blanket for
right.
me.
So because the game may or may not suck, you'll still go back to putting it in every once in a while. But when you put in Mario 64, it earns its reputation.
It really
still is the GOAT. It's the GOAT. Similar to talking about Ocarina of Time, it's hard to have a discussion about this and not talk about the things that everybody else has talked about. We all know it is what it is. So absolutely love it to death. One of my favorite games of all time. I think it's a perfect game, really. Only problem with it nowadays, you could say, is that it is just what it is. You know, it doesn't have 1,000 stars in it, and it doesn't have the best controlling camera, and it doesn't have this or that.
I recently discovered there is a thing known as retro achievements. It's a website that it tries to create. It's a community-led website where people can make achievements and make up achievements for kind of classic retro games, and it connects through popular emulators. So, for instance, if you're using like RetroArch, for example, it has a plugin to where it links up with retro achievements, and you can unlock those in game. The last time I played Mario 64, which I think was like a month or two back, I actually did link it to retro achievements, and I'm telling you right now, it added so much more complexity to the game.
Oh,
because like, for instance, you know, you have your normal achievements of, collect all 8 red coins without taking any damage. It's like, that's fun. But, you know, for some of them, it's like, that might be a little harder than you'd think.
Yeah.
Another kind of standout achievement on each course was find the secret warp in every course, which then made me realize, wait a minute, there's more warps than just Bomb Bomb Battlefield?
That's why the other day when we were playing on Wom's Fortress, you're like, the warp is back there by the wing, or by the metal cap. So it's because you did it recently. I was like, dang, dude. Dang, dude, you've got some knowledge.
Exactly. And then on top of that, there's other like challenge ones. So for instance, I was explaining to you to try to get the star in the caged, the floating caged island on Wom's Fortress without utilizing the owl. That's an achievement.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And it's just super fun to go through the game doing an achievement hunt, because then it's like, I need to get this achievement. What do I need to do for it? And you look and you're like, I've never thought to do any of this before. Like, I need to collect the coins without jumping, or I need to do this without taking any damage. It's like, I've never even considered that.
That is so cool. And that like gamifies the game, right?
Yes.
So when we're little, when we're stupid little idiot kids, and we play Mario 64, we probably got a few stars that we already collected, or just were running around and just goofing around and having fun. This gives you a reason to do that. You know, a reason to not just get all the stars and win, get all 120 stars and win, and that's it, and turn the game off. You know, it kind of forces you to do the thing that we did as a kid, which is just kind of run around and have some fun and explore the game more so than what the game was asking of us. So that is cool, and I actually would really like to try that. Yeah. Did you get 100% on it?
No, absolutely not.
Do they? How many? I'm assuming Mario 64 probably is they probably have a lot of trophies for that, I'm assuming, to give you stuff to do.
I think for each course, they have like the same standard set of achievements, and then they have like additional like challenge ones, and then every Bowser course, I think the Bowser course achievement is like get through without taking any damage.
Yeah.
I think all in all, there's like 130 achievements.
Oh yeah, I would love to do that.
I'm telling you, man, it's so much fun. Even like, not even like Mario 64. There's so many other games that have their own achievement sets.
Yeah.
The last thing I did want to touch on before we move on to other games is, how do you feel about Super Mario 64 DS? Because I
didn't even think about that.
Right, exactly. I ended up playing that one. Ryan's just frantically looking in his notes. My one standout complaint I have with 64 DS is the fact that the controls themselves, because again, it's on a DS, it's too cramped.
Yeah.
You can't really like sit down and have like an extended session with it, or else your hand starts to cramp up, especially, you know, as an adult, we have adult-sized hands. So it's kind of...
Speak for yourself.
Oh, no.
So what we got to remind the kids out there, the original DS did not have a circle pad.
It did not.
It had D-pad, touchscreen, and ABXY, and the shoulder buttons, L and R.
And it's funny, too, because when I played it on my 3DS, I actually preferred to use the D-pad. I didn't even use the circle pad, which I think also kind of added to the hand cramp.
So there's stuff to that. So I played it on the original chunky DS, and you have two options: is you control your movement with the D-pad, or the original DS used to have like this little wrist, it's not a wrist strap, but it's a lanyard with a little hard plastic piece on it that you put along your finger, and then you use your finger as the stylus to control your character. That's what I did.
Gotcha.
And I actually learned how to do that. So imagine touching the screen, pretending it's
a control stick?
Yes, like a stick.
Oh.
So that's how I controlled it.
Interesting.
And it actually works.
Oh, wow.
It's stupid and terrible, but it does work.
It's probably murder on your touchscreen.
And yeah, probably. And I think if you have like the homebrew stuff for your 3DS, you can download a version that is compatible with the circle pad and actually makes it not suck. Because if you were to try the circle pad with Mario 64, just put in the actual cartridge itself,
yeah,
it still is only 8 directional movement
right
on the circle pad. So it feels terrible. As for the game, as a kid, I really enjoyed it. I have not played it for 2 decades, but
God, the DS is 2 decades old.
We're
now that I'm thinking about it.
We are old. But I remember as a kid growing up with Mario 64, knowing everything about it, and then they port it, but just have a little bit of twists on it. So you start out as Yoshi, unlock Wario, unlock Mario, unlock Luigi, and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. Have remixed levels, and I think there's additional levels in there too.
There were additional levels, and I know that like for unlocking each of the characters, there was like another boss area. I'm not sure how I felt about the extra content. I think it felt like too much for me.
Oh,
that's my thought on that. And then also like I didn't really care for the fact that, for example, the metal cap was locked exclusively to Wario. Like I didn't really care for that either. It was the fact that you needed specific characters in order to do certain things.
You're playing a level as Yoshi. You see that there's a metal cap.
Yep.
So you're like, okay, well, I'll have to replay the level as Wario. So you got to run up to the door room, switch out, and then come back as Wario.
Yeah, that just seemed kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
To me. And then, besides obviously the controls, when I played 64 DS, I only did, I think, like up to 64 stars, and then I just kind of sat there and I went, I'm good now.
Dang, so you tapped out.
I tapped out because I just got tired of the hand cramping, and I was like, I mean, I've played Super Mario 64 several times, so it's like I know what happens. I don't need
you know the ending, so you don't need
the ending.
Well, I'm curious, how many stars are in there? Like 150 or something?
I think it's up to 150. Yeah, there's 30 extra ones.
That's cool. Now, I am of the mindset where if I like something, if it's just I'm given more, then I'm gonna like that too, probably. So I think, like I said, I haven't played it for 600 years, but maybe if I played it again, I'd like it. And maybe if I like played it on PC and did like a version of that where like I can just use like a 8-bit DOE controller or something like that and play it that way, maybe I'd really like it. But I have not played it for that long, so I can't speak to it, but I remember really liking it. I like the idea of it, but I think its main pitfall, if I were to go back to it, would be the controls, not necessarily the content.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt going through it too, was like the content was great, and it's more Super Mario 64, so like where could you go wrong?
Sure. But
It
they
was just-
somehow did.
They somehow did.
Yeah.
Although I would be interested to try that ROM hack that has circle pad support.
Yes.
Because maybe it would be better with the circle pad.
Well, I mean, it would definitely be better, but would
Sure.
it be what you'd want it to be? You know, would it meet the standards that we expect of Mario 64?
Exactly. And then at that point, I might as well just do the PC port, like the PC decomp, and run that.
We may as well touch on that.
I'm sorry, I'm derailing.
No,
us.
that's perfect. PC port of Mario 64. It's not legal to take pre-existing code and make a new game using pre-existing code. The whole point of the decompilation process is that it translates existing code using original code to make the game again.
I haven't tried the Mario 64 decomp, which I believe is called Ultra 64, based on its
Something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Or
but
no, it's Render 96.
it was Render 96.
Well,
right.
so Render 96 is like a
it was the SGI renders of Mario 64.
They take the ones that were shown in the promotional stuff and in the manuals and all that stuff, and they put them in the game, and take some elements that were shown before the game came out.
Yep.
And then put those in the game too. So I've played that, but that was a long time ago when that first came out, and I know they've
It has
done
been
a bunch
a
of
couple
stuff.
years already.
I know they did a bunch of stuff with it since then. And all of this is to say is that you could download the PC port already decompiled, but the point of it is because that already decompiled thing is you're not allowed to download the game directly. The whole point is that you decompile it yourself, so it becomes legal. It goes through some legal loopholes.
It's a legal gray area because you're playing a backup copy of a cartridge you own. So that's why with like emulation, for example, the gray area of emulation is the fact that you can use a ROM of a game, but you yourself have to own the physical copy of that game.
But with decompiling,
that's where we get out of the gray area.
What you're supposed to do is back up your own copy of the game, even though nobody does that. Take that ROM and then do the decompiling thingy, and then it gives you a .exe that you can run on your computer, and then you can do whatever you want with it. That's the whole point of what you're supposed to do. There are some places that you can just get that final .exe and just download it.
Yeah.
But
where's the fun in that?
Well, for idiots like me, where I'm like, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do? But they do make it very easy. The decompiling tools. It's when they first came out with it, I didn't understand the concept, so I was like, what am I doing? But then when you realize what you're doing, then it's not so bad. Wrapping up on Mario 64 for God's sake. So
we've talked so much about this game.
We could talk about Mario 64 forever. We both love it to death. We both love the music. We love how it looks. Influential to game design in spades. Easy to jump in and just have a fun time. We love it to death. Mario 64, one of the GOATs. So the next one to come out, a GameCube launch title. No, it's not a GameCube launch title.
No, it wasn't.
Right. It came out in 2002.
It wasn't.
Luigi's Mansion was the Mario game, which side note, very odd game for them to launch with.
It was an odd game. It was an odd choice, but it worked out for them.
Yes, definitely.
Luigi's Mansion is like way high up there on my list of greatest.
Yes, absolutely. So the following year, they came out with Super Mario Sunshine. I replayed this game within the past 5 or so years, so it's relatively fresh. So I'm curious where you are at on it.
So for Mario Sunshine, at least for me, nostalgia hits pretty hard.
Absolutely.
With Mario Sunshine, because like I grew up playing that one.
Definitely.
I haven't played it. To your point, I haven't played it in ages, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have the exact same feeling where it's like, let me explain for those listening why Jacob and I are both going, and that is we love this game. Jacob loves this game. I love this game to death. You love this game, but it is the problem child.
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely. Because of its, I would say that there's jank in it. Would you agree?
Yeah.
It's pretty janky.
Absolutely. Now, I love how the game controls. I love how it feels. But there are some weird things that happen. as in when I'm jumping and I wanted to grab this thing, or I wanted to wall jump off of this thing, or do this or that. I don't know if maybe it came out too early or it wasn't ready yet, but with Mario 64 at least, and we're talking about this because it's the direct sequel to it, when I'm doing something in that game, it happens the way that I intend. And in Mario Sunshine, I found myself often being like, why did I tried to do that? Why am I falling right now? Or why did I do this? Or why did I bonk on that thing? It's a much more ambitious game.
Absolutely.
And one thing I want to say is it's a natural progression from Mario 64, which is that it has bigger levels. You still
more
do
things to do.
Yes, more things to do. You do the same thing where you jump into a painting and you are going into the level. You collect these stars, which are now shine sprites, and you do the things, and then you go on to the next level and do the other thing. And there are gates where it's like you need to collect 50 shines, and then this thing opens, and now you can go collect shines over there. It's the same structure, natural progression, makes things bigger, big open worlds. But it does not do it as cleanly.
This is, I would give you that, absolutely.
We still love this game to death. And I love the game. I love it a lot.
It's a good game, yeah.
There is just some jank that does hold it back, where funky stuff happens. One thing I want to mention, and Jasmine will appreciate this because she is very passionate about this topic, is video game water.
Ooh, yes.
In this era,
yes.
and the one that she's thinking right now, Sonic Adventure 1 and Super Mario Sunshine, they have that bright blue, nice,
like blue raspberry type water.
Just nice looking water and beaches and green stuff. They all had that same type of thing. Where'd that go in games? Why don't they have that type of beach water anymore?
It's like the same thing with like the early 2000s like design aesthetic. Like we had like Frutiger Arrow type stuff everywhere, and then every corporate entity decided, let's make it more modern and clean looking.
Yeah. I think what it is,
now it's sanitized.
You're right in bringing up that it's like an industry or a trend kind of thing, because at the time, you know why it's there? It's because they wanted to be like, look how powerful this console is.
This console could render water.
Whoa. But only that far, and then it's a JPEG, right? So don't look that far. But for here, it can render water. That's why. So, and then as the PS3 360 era came out, then it was like about realistic graphics. Then there was more browns and grays and dirt and guys with guns and all that
brown
stuff.
Filter on everything.
Yes, so the intentions were when this game came out was look how good it looks, and it still looks really, really good.
It does. I think also why Mario Sunshine's water looks so good as it does is because it's kind of the antithesis to the main plot of the game, which is Mario has to clean up goop.
Yes.
The goop that looks like candy.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. Yeah. I mean, the whole point is that you're cleaning stuff up, and we didn't mention, but if you haven't played Sunshine, you got Flood, which is your robot companion thingy on your back, that sprays water, and you can do some tricks and flips and jump up in the air and do some other stuff with Flood, which is great. That reminds me, the story in Sunshine is really weird.
It is really weird.
Like, what is going on? So the game starts off, you land, you spray the thingy, you do the thing. They see Shadow Mario, which turns out to be Bowser Jr., disguised as Mario,
baby boy
that does the naughty things. So they arrest you, and there's like a whole like court proceeding with voice acting.
Is the funniest cutscene in my eyes. It's so funny. What is going on? Like, and also it was a very like one-way court, because the judge was just like, overruled, you're guilty, you're in prison forever now.
Yeah,
it's like what?
Yeah, and then
this is not due process.
Why do you get Flood in that game? Like Flood comes and like breaks you out of jail.
Flood was literally just at the airstrip. You just happened upon Flood at the airstrip, and it's like, hello, yes, I am MacGuffin robot. Yeah. I will save the day.
Yeah, right. So why do you get it's like you do community service.
Yes, you're doing community service forever. You're cleaning our whole island because we think you're the one who did it.
Yeah, right.
Even though you just landed here.
It's so weird. Yeah. Like, why can't Mario just come in and just like say that? Why does he have to go to? It's just so weird and goofy.
You know what else I thought was weird and goofy? And again, not to spoil the ending.
No.
But the whole ending.
No, you can say.
Yeah. the whole ending fight scene where you just like use the rocket nozzle, jump up, and then there's just Bowser chilling in a
Hot tub.
jacuzzi.
Yeah.
And he's just like, Mario, you're ruining our vacation.
Yeah, he has voice acting too.
I love the voice acting of
too.
Bowser in that game. It's so good.
I do too. And Bowser Jr. too. I think this was the
introduction of Bowser Jr. and
Right.
the idea that Peach was his mom, which I don't even want to touch on how that works.
yes, I don't. Which
that
it's still not
inspired a lot of art.
People get confused. Is that they're like Bowser Jr. Isn't he from Yoshi's Island? And that is not.
Bowser as a kid.
That's Baby Bowser. So Baby Bowser, Bowser Jr. Two different people. Baby Bowser is literally
Bowser, but as a kid.
Yes. Even though they look the same, mostly.
And then that begs the question: is what are the Koopalings then?
Yeah, I think
What's Ludwig and
I don't think that they
all of
are Bowser's children. I don't think they are, because like there's weird translation things in the old manuals, like in Mario 3. I think there's probably conflicting information, but I don't think the intention was that they were his children.
they were just his underlings,
Yes.
like advanced underlings.
Right. But who cares?
Yeah.
So let's not.
Who cares? All we know is Bowser Jr. is Bowser's son
And
somehow,
that is it.
and it's Mama Peach.
Yeah, Mama Peach, whatever.
Mama Peach.
There's
your mama.
that's really good.
Thank you.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Mario Sunshine, still a great fun game. It's still a great game.
I thought Mario Sunshine was super inventive, like because they're like, okay, Mario 64, it's just Mario. He's just running around. He's doing flips
Doing
and
Mario
tricks,
things.
doing spins. They're like, how can we innovate on that?
Yes, make it different and weird.
They're like, what if we gave him a water jetpack?
Water.
I'm like, done, do it.
Oh, you get Yoshi too, and Yoshi gets to go
Yeah.
and do all that.
Oh yeah, what was the I feel like Mario Sunshine had an obsession with vomit.
Does it?
Yoshi vomits up juice,
They-
and then you have the whole PD Piranha
That
fight,
vomits up the gooeys.
and then you had to fill him up with
Yeah.
water and then pound his belly button to make him vomit all that water up to damage him. Weird.
Yes, lots of weird stuff.
Very weird.
Boss fights in the game too, which wasn't in Mario 64
Exactly.
either. One part of this game that I love that everybody hates is the do those
the
stages.
non-flood courses.
Yes, I love a challenge.
Those
and I
are
love
great.
I love platforming challenges. So anytime one of those pops up, I love doing those.
My thing is, anytime I would come across any like Mario Sunshine jank, it was always in those courses.
Well, yes,
Because you don't have flood with you to like navigate around the jank parts or like
Yes.
the moving. I felt like a lot of like the rotating platforms, like those like wood block ones
Yeah.
that would like spin
That's
on
where
an
you get
axis.
like,
Yeah, I would be standing on one, and all of a sudden you hear whoa, 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 and it go off. It's like, oh god.
Yeah.
no.
I still think that the game controls
It's very tight controls.
It controls very well when it's not being super weird. That's kind of the bottom line with it.
It's flawed.
Yes, but very awesome, fun game. One of the best on the GameCube, despite its weirdness. After Sunshine, the Nintendo Wii comes out, and then we get Mario Galaxy.
Mario goes to space.
This actually might surprise you. Completely missed me. Totally missed Galaxy. Did not play it until within the past 10 years or so.
Are you joking?
No joking here, son.
That's crazy.
Yep, did not play Galaxy when it was
I
new.
got Galaxy for Christmas, I think maybe a year or so after I got my Wii. And I remember Christmas morning throwing Galaxy in there.
Throw it in there.
Throw it in there. Divine.
We might have had it at some point, but I
didn't
just
play it.
never did it.
That's crazy to me.
Even being Mr. Mario. It has an interesting opening where it's like you're at the Star Festival. A new thing.
Once a millennium thing.
Yes. And then Bowser comes in, does a bad thing, takes Peach, and then flies to outer space, bro.
Where did he get the UFO?
Nobody knows.
No one knows. They never explained it.
He
It's like,
built
oh, he has a UFO. Oh my god, what the hell? If he had a nickel for every time he's lifted Peach's castle into the sky, he'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Yeah.
Because Paper
Right,
Mario, he lifted Peach's
That's
castle up, and then Mario Galaxy,
Ooh,
he
I love
cut it
that.
out of the earth.
Then you go to outer space and do some outer space stuff. So this is where they have they introduce like round little planets where you can run all the way around
I
them.
loved that part of Galaxy of the gravity mechanics with all the little planetoids.
Yes.
Did you ever, if you were on a small enough one, did you ever do a long jump and then begin like a path of orbit?
Right.
And eventually you just fly off?
Now, I mentioned pitchforks. I do not love these games.
You don't like Galaxy?
No.
Please expound on this.
So, my thing, why I love these games mostly, is because of the tight platforming. My thing is that I like it to be like, oh, your challenge is to get up there and get that thing. Get that shiny thing up there. So I gotta go wahoo, bah, 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 and get up there or do whatever. And this game is more about like you get the bee suit and then you can go bzzz and kind of float around and go over here. Or there's the little planetoids, and I would compare most of this game's levels to the size and scope of the no flood levels in Sunshine, where Mario 64 and Sunshine,
the courses seem way more expansive.
They're huge playgrounds that you run around in and get the things in. Yes. And this one feels more like level 1, level 2, level 3.
True.
Little slices of go along this pretty railroaded course where there is some platforming challenges, and then you get to the end and you get the thing.
Of course. That's kind of how I feel with like the prankster comet stars in Mario Galaxy. I personally hated that.
Aren't those like the challenge ones that'll come in?
Yeah, it's the challenge ones that would spawn in every so often on certain courses. I hated those only because it was like, oh, now you have to do this boss fight, but you only have 1 health. Whoa, it's wacky. And it's like, I hate this.
I think I probably liked those because of that. Because it was like a challenge.
True.
Thing.
I also didn't really care for the fact that you had to like wait for the prankster comet to spawn, and it would never do it. So that's why I never fully 100%ed Galaxy, was because that just irked me to no end.
And there's almost I think at some point when you whittle down things, it will spawn guaranteed. I think at some point, but it's not like it'll spawn if you do this. It's just like it just shows up. It has a possibility of showing up when you do a thing.
The music. How do you feel about the music?
Right, I was going there. So with the nature of a Galaxy, which has a very mystical and loosey kind of atmosphere.
That was a really cool dance. I liked that.
Thank you. Very, very like a mystical. So it has this grand score, and they have little twinkles and stuff in here and there with the score as well. Obviously, the score is amazing. It's very grand. Orchestral, awesome. Gusty Garden Galaxy is goated, obviously.
The whole ending sequence when you're at the center of the universe, that orchestral mix is just so good.
And again, with the story,
Mario dies at the end.
What? He does?
You don't... What? Did you never finish Galaxy?
Say Mario dies?
They all do, yeah.
What? Who all dies?
All of them. All of the characters die.
Are we talking about the same game?
Yes.
I'm talking about Nintendo Mario.
The ending cutscene is literally that Bowser's big star that he was building at the center of the universe, supernovas, creates a black hole, and they're all going to be swallowed up into it. And then...
But they don't.
They do. Because then the Lumas all sacrifice themselves to make the whole thing go supernova. You're not surviving that.
Everybody dies and then the credits roll?
The game is that everybody dies, the Big Bang happens again, and then it all starts anew. That's the whole ending cutscene where you're floating in space and then Rosalina is talking to you. That whole ending cutscene is Rosalina explaining everything is made of stars, everything dies, and then gets reborn again, and the cycle begins anew.
So I was hinting at the Rosalina aspect. It's all very adult. It's all very like things die and things come back, and that's where I was getting at. I wasn't going to get at that everybody dies in the end because I didn't remember that part.
I thought the gravity mechanics of all the little planetoids was inventive and kind of was another evolution from Flood.
Very unique. Yeah.
I thought that the courses themselves were interesting. And some of them had like really interesting ideas. So like I forgot the name of the galaxy, but it was like the space junk Galaxy with like the there was one star in particular that was like the pole stars where you had to like go between each pole star.
Yes.
I thought that was fun.
So you have to use the motion controls in this game.
You do.
You have to point the thing at the thing. It's a very gamey video game, and I just kind of want to just get into it and jump around and do that stuff. Now, for what it is very good at what it does. I just don't really care for that. And you might think, if you haven't played any of these games, you might just think, well, it's another Mario game. It's got to be like the last one. It's really not.
It's its own thing.
Yeah, and it controls and feels very different. And yeah, I just did not like engaging in the like shoot the star bits kind of thing and wiggle the remote. The twirl when you wiggle the remote, I thought made things way, way too easy.
Very
because you are given so much freedom, kind of like in Sunshine, where it's like you can
do it however you want.
Yeah, and you can get anywhere, and you can make so many jumps. I found myself really skipping sections, which I really do like doing. I like, and we'll touch on that later. I really like skipping sections where it's like you're supposed to go this way and take this long route, and I'm like, well, what if I wall jump off of there and go pop pop pop, and I get up there and I do the thing that I'm not supposed to do, and I get there way early.
They kind of railroaded you with Galaxy, where it's like, no,
Yes.
you're using this sling star. You're going to this planet.
Yeah, this is how you do it.
Too bad.
And
so sad.
And I really miss the playground feel of 64 and Sunshine, where it's like I can just kind of run around and have fun. You kind of just have to do what they tell you to do in this game.
Right.
There are a few instances where you can do some wiggly jank, and like if I jump high enough, I'll get sucked into this planetoid's gravity, and then it'll bring me up here.
That's like the only, that was a fun part of Galaxy. And it's so funny. Nostalgia is the ultimate blinder in this case, because I'm just so nostalgic to the feeling of Mario Galaxy.
Yes, it does have,
and how it made me feel.
It does have, and that's the nice thing with playing each of these is that they have different flavors.
Absolutely.
Galaxy is very, like I said, like mystical and like really like cozy and floaty. Not just the controls are floaty, which I don't really care for.
Space is floaty.
Yeah, it's the soundtrack and the graphics is very good. It all just works out. Galaxy 2 is largely the same from what I remember, except there's Yoshi.
Right.
There is Yoshi, and there's some more fun stuff to do. I don't know if there's any new suits, but like this game is very like with the different types of hats in 64 or the different types of flood power-ups in Sunshine. This one has different suits, like the bee suit and
the spring suit, which is terrible, and I hate it.
Yeah, all that type of stuff. I don't really care for that kind of gimmicky sort of stuff where it's like now my control scheme is totally changed.
Right.
It's not terrible.
The rolling ball segments. Speaking of control schemes being completely changed.
Oh, do you have to do like
yes, you
the
have
gyro.
to use it like the manta ray races are another good example of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when you're flying, you're like gliding down, you got to go through the hoops where you're gliding through the whole level on like a bird thingy. It's a good game, but not for me.
I get it.
An often forgotten about game within the launch window of the Nintendo 3DS, Super Mario 3D Land. Nobody really cares about it.
No.
So
I have hot takes because I'm actually currently playing through 3D World.
Did you play 3D Land?
No.
You have hot takes for 3D Land and you didn't play it?
I watched gameplay of 3D Land, so I got like the gist of it, and it's very similar to 3D World. So
yes,
this take kind of applies to both.
I actually did get 3D Land when it came out.
Oh, okay.
And I did play it when it was still new on the 3DS, and I like this game.
Really?
So now here's the deal. When I was talking about Galaxy, I said that I didn't really care for the small constrained 3D levels. This has small constrained 3D levels where they're like platforming challenges. But this is on the 3DS and it's level based. So I think it works. Stop doing that face. I don't like that.
You ready for my hot take?
Yeah.
I do not consider this a 3D Mario game. I consider these 2.5D at best because of the fact that the level design, kind of to your point earlier about 64 and Sunshine, that those are big, wide open courses that you can run around and do a whole lot of whatever through. 3D Land and 3D World is designed more closely to like New Super Mario Bros., where it's like a set linear course, and on top of that, a lot of the gameplay of 3D Land and 3D World is exactly just like Super Mario World, for instance. Like, there's 3 collectibles you have to grab, and then you go to the flagpole at the end, and it's a very linear course design. So I don't necessarily treat these as 3D Mario titles. Like, sure, you can walk around in more places, and you do have that 3D perspective. However, I think in terms of like, do I consider this to be a 3D Mario game? No, I consider this to be a Super Mario Bros. Title, but just in a little bit more of a 3D perspective, if that kind of makes sense. Like, it doesn't fit the same mold as 64 or Sunshine does, or Galaxy to a degree.
So let me start with this.
Sure.
First of all, how dare you? Secondly, get out of my house.
Okay.
So, no, I actually agree with what you're saying, even though it's insane.
It's crazy.
Mario 3D Land, it's important to set this up, is kind of in the middle or near the start of the new Super Mario Bros. Series that took off, starting with New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, then New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and then U and all the million other ones. Caught kind of in the middle of that, or in the start of it. So Mario's identity at that time was a little different because it's not a mainline title. And nobody would consider this a mainline 3D title, even though kind of is. It's literally in the name. You can't deny that. I played this when it came out. I liked it. What it is just, it's level-based, bite-sized, go here and do the thing. The reason why it's excusable is because this game runs on the 3DS, and that's like magic.
That's true.
Turning on the 3D slider was still a really fun gimmick at the time, and it worked really well with this game, and it was very cool. This game is like basically Super Mario 3D World Lite, because they're essentially the same kind of game. When it came out, I really, really liked it. And then my 3DS and some games got stolen, including this one. So I never finished it. But yeah, 3D Land, I don't have a whole lot to say about it because it's not a very grand in scope kind of game.
Exactly my point.
But I still really liked it because what it's doing, it does well. And I don't think it really does anything wrong, except for introduces baby mode. And I don't like baby mode in anything. If you die enough times in this game or in 3D World, you get the gold. You have the option to get the gold Tanuki thing, which lets you like float forever, like you don't lose lives or something, and it's basically just baby mode to let you beat the game easier. I think that's about all we have to say about 3D Land. We could just jump into 3D World at this point.
Yeah.
Originally a Wii U title, now recently ported to the, well, not recently, but now ported to the Nintendo Switch, which is cool.
That is very cool.
Is that how you're playing it now?
I'm playing it on my Wii U.
Oh, so you're playing it original.
I'm playing the original version of it, yeah.
Cool.
I know I gave my hot take that I don't think it's a 3D Mario game. What I will say is I actually am thoroughly enjoying it. Like, I'm still loving the game. It's fun. It's a great time.
You just think its identity is not, it shouldn't be in the same category.
Exactly. I think instead of being classified as a 3D Mario game, I think it would be more classified in like the new Super Mario Bros. Kind of realm.
It is closer to that style, I would say. When they were showing Odyssey for the first time, when they were like, it's a sequel to like this, they showed just Mario 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy, and then said basically it's a sequel to Galaxy because like all that other stuff doesn't count.
So even Nintendo knows that.
How dare they? It has 3D in the name. It literally does. Regardless of what you call it, I love this game. I think it is the most underrated Mario title, period.
I'd give you that. It is fun.
I just love this game to death. The Switch version is even better because the Wii U version they felt was maybe too slow, and you can run a little bit faster in the Switch version.
And it comes with Bowser's Fury.
Which
I thought is really cool that like, because the Switch had a reputation of, we're just porting all the Wii U games because nobody had a Wii U. But I do like how they included, they're like, to incentivize you to buy this, we made another game on top of this game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we talk about Bowser's Fury. But yeah, I love this game to death. It's got just, I think, super fun bite-sized levels, just more expanded upon from the previous game, 3D Land. I love the music. I love the graphics. It controls good enough because it can't be a full like 3D controlling thing. You know, you kind of have, you just get, I don't even know if you get a triple jump in that game.
No, you don't.
No. You mentioned New Super Mario Bros., which is kind of a blight on this earth because nobody looks at them fondly.
Blight?
No, I don't agree with that. But people, when they look at that big group of games, it's just like the Mario brand was very watered down because of how many there were, and they all controlled very similarly.
Very true.
Yeah, but I didn't mind those. But to that point, this game has multiplayer.
It does.
And multiplayer in New Super Mario Bros. Is generally awful because if one person is not, if you're not running at the same speed, it's just terrible. And then one person bubbles, and then the other person just can't catch up. That was the
experience when I was playing with Kelly. Yeah.
Yeah, just a freaking nightmare. But multiplayer in these games are in 3D World is actually really good.
Ooh, I'll have to try that.
I've done it probably with 4 people a few times, but at least with 2 players, it's really fun.
Ooh.
It's a really fun 2-player game.
Does sound fun.
But yeah, it's just a really fun time. There's not a whole lot to say about it, but I really like this game. I think it's really fun. I think the cat suit's really fun. Maybe a little too easy at times.
The cat suit is very easy mode, but I love it.
Maybe a little too baby mode at times, but I just think it's a really solid, fun, really good looking game. And I like it a lot.
Speaking of baby mode, I made the mistake, and I call it a mistake, of playing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on the Wii U before I started 3D Land, 3D World. Sorry, I get those confused. Going into 3D World, I was already tired of Captain Toad levels and gameplay in general because I thought it was too baby easy.
Yeah,
like a 3-year-old could do these levels. So then I didn't realize that there are Captain Toad levels in 3D World. No more of these.
Yeah, not fun.
They're not fun.
It was just supposed to be like
inventive, but they're just not fun after like 2 hours. And then the same dragon boss fight you have to do every single end of the book. It's just like, please make this stop.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really care for those either. But the base game of 3D World, I think, is super underrated, and I absolutely love it.
The Plessy levels are so fun.
Yes, Plessy is great. Yeah, just super slept on. I think mostly because it came out on the Wii U, and nobody had that. Like, I was one of 10 people that had it, so I enjoyed it. And then it getting ported to the Switch, which is the way that you should play it, to be clear.
True.
Which you're not, but that's fine. You're being authentic, which I appreciate. I just don't think people didn't really care as much, which is why they included Bowser's Fury. And even though Bowser's Fury came out in 21 or whatever it was, we may as well talk about it here. I know you haven't gotten to this yet.
No, I know the levels are designed similar to how like Mario Odyssey was, where they're just like the power moons or whatever they're called scattered throughout the level, and you have to do different challenges.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know that part of it.
So think of it as a hybrid between 3D World and Odyssey. It controls very similar to Odyssey, but not quite. And it doesn't control, and it controls similar to 3D World, but not quite. So it's kind of its own thing, and it works really well. You are spit out into a series of islands, just this big square of ocean, and then there's like islands and stuff. And some of them are have like goopies, so you can't go to them yet. And Bowser is in the center, and he's very angry. He's very humongous.
He's furious, one would say.
Yes, some would say. He serves as like a timer, so he'll like slowly be rising up, and it's cool because you see him from anywhere on the map. You like look over there and you see how high he is in the sky, so that's an indicator of when spooky time happens. So if he goes to the very top, then you basically do a little mini battle with him, and you become Giganto Mario Catman, and you have
Super Saiyan Mario.
Yes, yeah. And you have like a kaiju battle with him for a very brief moment.
Oh, that's so cool.
You fight him very briefly. He goes back down, and then you can continue about what you're doing. So then you go back to that. So it's a huge open world. Different islands will have like their set of stars, like 5 stars per island. And then there's some hidden ones that are just like on mini islands or like here, there, wherever throughout this whole open area. It's awesome. And as for like a little add-on to the game, it's really great. It took me maybe, I don't know, not very long to be like between it. I think it was 2 or 3 sittings that I was done with it, but I was really hitting it because I was really loving it. Very, very fun, very cool. It's very cat themed because it's 3D World.
Of course.
And it's cool for them to come out with Odyssey and then come back to this. Like revisit their old like 3D World stuff and like not have it just play exactly like Odyssey. It's kind of like a little hybrid thing. It's super awesome, and like Bowser Jr. It comes to you for help. He's like, Papa is all
my dad
crazy
is angry at me.
Yes. And then like there's a special ending if you get like 100%. It's very cool and very fun. And Plessy, the Plesiosaur, is basically your boat to get between islands and stuff, and you're going at like 100 miles an hour on him, and the music is super fun as you're on his back, and you can jump off, and the controls are super fun and all that. It's a very, very fun thing.
I'll have to throw that on my list after I finish
definitely
3D World.
Yeah, it's a fun old time. It's a really fun thing. Not enough people probably played it.
All right. Well, you've convinced me.
Yeah.
So you've done your job.
Definitely try it out. Bowser's Fury is super fun and cute. But are we already there?
Yeah, we're already there. We're at the Mac Daddy.
Okay. But going back a little bit, the true, as Jacob would say, sequel to Super Mario Galaxy is Super Mario Odyssey. It was Mario Mania. The Switch was still hot and new.
Oh, yeah.
And the marketing for this game was very much like a return to form to 3D Mario. And they showed, Mario 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy to be like, it's a sequel to this. This is what you guys want. 3D Mario is back.
It got me.
And Mario is like a shrimpy little nugget again. He's like a little guy again.
He's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just like a little teeny guy, like his proportion.
It was really weird when you were in like New Donk City and you have just fully grown adults, and then you have a little tiny like potato man.
Yes, like he's a little teeny guy again. Excitement for this game was
off the charts.
Yeah, for you and me, very excited to get this game. One of the few games that I really get on. It came out 8 years ago, but I don't get very many games on launch. But that's one of them that I got. Yeah, dude, almost a decade ago.
That's crazy.
Just fantastic. So
just beautiful game.
Yeah. So what's your experience with Odyssey?
All right, Mario Odyssey came out at kind of a time in my life that I'm glad it came out in, because it was the tail half of college for me. Computer science is no joke, man. Terrible. Well, not terrible, but very difficult, very rigorous. And admittedly, I needed an escape from it. And Super Mario Odyssey was there to kind of provide me that escape. I was beyond hyped for this game. Because of the marketing and because of the fact that it was a return to form for Mario games. And again, the last 3D Mario game I had played before that was Mario Galaxy. So
most people, that was how it was. And that was
exactly. Besides like my occasional replays of
2012.
Mario 64.
Yeah.
It was also my first midnight release that I ever went to for any game ever. That alone was a magical experience. And then I remember, because it came out on a Friday, and I marathoned that whole game. That entire I spent that whole weekend playing that game, and I remember you and I would just go back and forth, and we were like not racing, but we were both kind of like neck and neck.
Sure.
In terms of playing it.
You definitely beat me.
Oh, because I was the first of our group to finish.
My approach when playing any kind of game like this is that I don't want it to end, and I'm a very big baby about stuff like that. And I like to do the ending of the game when I'm done with it. So, and this kind of blew your mind when I mentioned it to you, but I did every single thing in the game except I think Darker Side or maybe Dark Side 1. I don't remember how it works.
Dark Side and Darker Side were post-game stuff.
Right. So I did every single thing. I think I got I saved, basically what I'm trying to say is I saved the ending level to be like as late as I pushed it off as long as I could, because I wanted to complete almost every kingdom as much as I could without looking anything up to that point. Get as many moons as I can before experiencing the ending, because I like the ending to happen basically when I'm wrapping up the game.
Right.
And what I ended up doing is saved the final moon on Darker Side. I think I saved that to be the very last moon that I got, and then it ended up being the last moon I got. Just to, as
for
like
full completion.
Yes, to be like a farewell. Because I like the last. I don't want the last moon I get to just be like, oh, I forgot to look under that rock. There it is. I beat the game. Yeah. I want it to be like a big triumphant thing.
Want and it to be the final thing.
Yeah, and the darker side last moon where you got to do like a gauntlet or something.
Yeah, that gauntlet was rough.
Like everybody's at the end, like congratulating all the characters and stuff, and different little enemies and people from all the other worlds are there to be like, yeah, you did it, and you like do a little victory lap to go up there and climb up the thing, and then you get it.
I thought the final climb up the tower and then Cappy is like talking to you the whole time.
Yes.
That bit broke me. Like the whole ending sequence broke me, but then the bit at the end when Cappy is talking to you about
he's like, we've come a long way, haven't we?
That whole bit made me sob like a freaking baby.
It's so good. I love it. And talking about tearing up, we mentioned this when we were doing our nostalgia episode, but the ending of the game is just sublime.
It is. It made me cry.
Yes, and it didn't make us cry because Mario dies or something bad or Mario has cancer. That's why we were crying.
Cancer.
No,
Luigi, it's a terminal.
Nothing that they say there's nothing we can do. No, it's not because Mario has cancer. It's because we grew up playing Mario games and you're doing the ending and it's just so sincere. And you play this game throwing caps on people and on enemies and stuff, and you control them. And then, there's like that big moment at the end where it's like, wait a minute, what if we throw the cap on Big Man? And
Big Man himself.
And you throw the cap on Bowser, and it's just like, wait, what? And then you control
my mortal enemy.
And Peach is on your shoulder and you're running out of there as the thing is crumbling and collapsing and rocks are crumbling down. It's playing that awesome music and Peach is on your shoulder, and when you jump she also does this too, like puts her fist in the air. It's just so sublime. Good. It's one of the best endings of all time for that reason, not because the ending is cool. I mean, the ending cutscene is very cute and funny.
Absolutely.
But it's because of what you're doing and what it means for gaming. Like it cannot be understated that you're playing as the original big bad guy in video games. It's the first time that you ever do it. As far as I know,
you have become the man.
I mean, I know that you can in Mario RPG, he's one of the characters that can run around with you, but to really be the guy and to be the bad guy and do the good thing and save the day. It's just
good.
Perfection.
After it's all said and done, after you save the day as Bowser, and the next world you go to was Peach's Castle,
amazing.
And the fact that it was a Super Mario 64 callback where all the Power Moons turn into Power Stars.
And you know what, too? I think this era of Nintendo is very much like that, where they usually don't acknowledge their older stuff. Like you might think it's Pokemon 25 just came out this year, but they really acknowledged the importance of Mario 64 in that moment. Like in Galaxy, there are some little references, but this was such a monument to that game and letting you do that. And when you collect the stars, they do the sound of Mario 64. Yes. It's just wonderful. Now, to that point, I'm going to say something controversial.
Oh, hit me with it.
Being in Peach's castle in the courtyard and all that stuff is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love Odyssey.
Right.
However, I would love Odyssey way more if it was all like that. And that worlds, and this is part of the reason why a lot of people like this game, is because the worlds are so wacky and different and the art styles are so different. I feel like if it was all Mario-y, when you're in the Yoshi's Island kind of place and when you're in Peach's Castle, it's all very Mario themed.
Right.
But also in this game, you're in New Donk City where the art style is totally different and people look completely different than you. And you're also in Dark Souls land and there's a giant dragon.
The Dark Souls fight. Yeah.
But when you're in Bonneton, is that what it's called? The hat ghost place?
Yeah.
That's all very Mario-y.
Absolutely.
Art style wise. So
Mario-esque.
I just really wish that because being in Peach's castle in the courtyard, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It was
you were right at home.
Yes, it was just so wonderful. So, but being in, I think it's the Lost Woods where there's the machines and that. It's all designed magnificently, but art style wise, it's
very jarring.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. That is so they did mission accomplished. I just really would love it more if it was all very Mario-y. But I say that now, but maybe I wouldn't. But that was one humongous takeaway of the game that I couldn't shake, is that I just really wish it was more Mario-y themed, if that makes sense. Just a little more cartoony, a little more cutesy. But I also, I say that, but I also love that about it. Like, you're in Fossil Falls and you can turn into a giant T-Rex, and it's like the T-Rex does not look cartoony at all. It's like Nintendo's version of realistic graphics, and it's like you're just busting through stuff. I'm like, what is going on here? But it's wonderful and great.
I will say, I did use New Donk City as an example in a game design project that I had. So I kind of took that opportunity to like break down New Donk City as a level, like a 3D level, because that was what my project was on. And I don't think there's any other real example that I could think of, at least, of a 3D space that has such emphasis on verticality in its design, because of the fact that you can go literally anywhere among all of the skyscrapers, and there are pathways on each building on how you can get from the bottom to the top, right? Either through those like traffic cones that you flick off of, right? Or if there's two buildings close together, you wall jump the whole way up. And that kind of added to Odyssey's overall concept of like its movement, right? I felt like Odyssey's movement in general was the tightest it's ever been. There has never been a tighter movement in a 3D Mario game than Odyssey was.
Well, it's the best controlling 3D platformer of all time. I mean, hands down is the best designed, but more importantly, best controlling, where if you are a 7-year-old and you're playing this game, you will be able to beat it. But if you're an advanced gamer like we are, and I like to do the air jumps and the this and the dives and the whoa, whoa, papa, you have so much freedom. And I was speaking about this in Galaxy, where it's like you have to click on the little star thingy to get sucked this way, and you have to jump up that way. In Odyssey, you see that thing up there, and it's teasing you. It's like, figure out a way up here. Figure out your way to get up here. And there usually is a way where it's like, this is the way you should go. But the game lets you sneak around that way and jump up that way and take this little shortcut. And if you're awesome, you can actually make this jump if you really try to. And the game, this is hugely important to me in games with movement like this, or even just 3D games in general, is that I want to be rewarded for going up there and actually getting up there. Even though the game isn't asking me to go up there,
you go up there anyway.
Just like seeing, like, can I actually get on that ledge over there? And then you go there and there's a hidden one up, or there's hidden coins,
yes.
or whatever.
The hidden coins was cool.
It's the game, even though the coins don't matter a lot, but I would like to talk about those too. Even though that doesn't mean a whole lot, it means everything, because it is the game designers directly saying to you, we see you, man.
I loved how after Odyssey came out and when speedrunners started really labbing it out, the fact that people were coming up with low capture percents of like, how do I do this power moon in as few captures as possible, or in as few like jumps and aerial tricks as possible, or like all the people that are like, how do I get to New Donk City without riding on the zip line? And then it would be like people trying to like lab it out and figure it out. And I also see that all the time now with Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I would like to set a record straight now that you're here and we can actually talk about this. If you rewind 6 months ago or so, I said some things about Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yes.
Now, I'm not backpedaling completely. However, I would like to say, since they showed the actual real deal trailer and showed Pauline and the story stuff and all that other stuff, and I've seen a little bit of things here online, but I'm really trying to stay away from it. I am looking forward to trying it. Same. Now, I'm not unsaying anything that I said.
No, of course. You're still valid to your points that you feel DK's redesign is weird.
It's a little more than that. I mean, sheesh. I'm still vindictive that it's like, you took country away from me. Now there's no more country because you're going to be very popular and well selling. But it actually looks way more fun than their original reveal, which looked like there was an emphasis on pick up rock and smash and dig and stuff, where it's like, there's actually some fun. There's some, and Bonanza is developed by the same team. I don't know if Nintendo's directly acknowledged it. They're weird about
It's
acknowledging.
like the same engine too.
Yes,
you
they're
can
weird
totally
about
tell it's the same engine.
They're weird about acknowledging their developers.
Yeah,
maybe it's a
I think
Japanese
that's a Japanese thing
yeah.
though too, because that's how it is with like Nintendo music. Like they don't directly say like the composer.
Yes,
of some of the songs.
Anyway, that's a whole other thing. So anyway, Bonanza, I am very willing to give it a shot. But back to Odyssey, hands down the best controlling Mario game of all time. I think it's the best designed Mario game of all time, and I think if you aren't super familiar, why this is important is because Mario 64 and Sunshine, big grand open levels, sandboxes that you explore, and Odyssey is the same. I consider, even though Galaxy has a couple that are larger levels that you explore and get the things in, that's why I was disappointed in Galaxy, because it was very like level here, and you have to go this way.
You must go into the Sling Star to go to
yes,
this
I don't want to
planet.
do the Sling Star, please.
No,
And
no,
I would
don't make me.
Yes, and in trying to give my own self freedom, I would like try to skip a Sling Star and like launch myself to that one, even though I'm supposed to go do. I'm trying to sling myself that way just to give myself some way to have fun. Just
Right.
like I can do it my way.
Let me do the thing, please.
Yes, Odyssey, you can do it any way you want, in almost any order you want. There are boss fights and stuff too, which are cute and fun, but they are pretty easy. It's
They're
like
very basic.
hit them 3 times and they die kind of
Yeah.
thing.
It
But
was exploit their weakness. Okay, good.
yeah, we could gush about this game for forever.
I made a point to talk about the costumes. I
let's
love
talk about 'em.
all of them. Some of the costumes were just kind of like, oh, cool. Mario's in his boxers
Yes.
and running around, and you see his nippies. Whereas
They're canon.
other ones were like, it's his spacesuit. But the keen Nintendo fans know that is the spacesuit that he wore for the Satellaview marketing.
Oh yeah. Yes,
And
so
it's
many
like, so many references.
that's
to
what
like
I'm saying
classic
too,
Nintendo. It's so good.
where they actually, the team behind this, it's come full circle, because the team that made this most likely grew up playing Mario 64. You know, it's those people that liked that original era of that original era of classic Nintendo, and now they get to do it themselves and show like, here's Mario wearing the Famicom race suit, or like all of
or
that,
like the
classic
inverted
stuff.
colors from the arcade, like the Jumpman colors.
Yes, all of it. They show such reverence. They share the same reverence for classic Mario that the players do. So when they do that stuff, it's like you and the devs, we're on the same page. I would like to talk about something that does not get enough attention: lives in video games. Okay, so when you are playing Mario 64, you have lives, and the purpose of lives is to give a
Punishment for failure.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the punishment is, if you miss this jump 2 more times, you're going to start over. You have to do the whole thing over. If you miss it 2 more times, bub. And then if you run out of 0, then we put you to the start screen, and then you have to press start again. That inherently is an archaic game design. It's a relic of arcade game design, where it's like you have 5 lives, you put in a quarter. If you lose them all, you're gonna have to put in another quarter. That's all. The purpose of lives is to be kind of a buffer between you and progress, right?
Of course.
So Odyssey, they're like, well, what do? We don't want to do the lives thing again. And what they do is just the best, which is
You lose money.
Yes. So every time you die, you lose 10 coins, right? Now, granted, if you are advanced gamers like us, you'll have like 10,000. Well, the max is like 9,999. You'll never be close, but it at least means something, where if you die too many times, you're not going to be able to buy that moon that's in the shop, or buy that costume that you really wanted.
Very
So it at least doesn't give you something unnecessary, like you run out of lives and he kicks you to the start screen for no reason, just to waste your time. It's an actual real hazard to
It's
avoid.
still a punishment, but it's a lessened punishment. Yeah.
Well, it's translated differently, which is you still are getting punished in a way where it's like, no, I want my money, give me that back. But it's not something that wastes your time. It's a modern way to adapt the live system into a modern day Mario game, and I think they did it excellently.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's more accessible, especially to younger kids, because
Sure.
obviously Odyssey, it's built for advanced gamers like you and me with all the references of like, oh my god, it's the Satella
the
View
advanced
outfit, or oh my god, it's a
controls and
Waluigi costume. But for like small children, they're like, it's okay, little Timmy. Like, it's okay. You only lose 10 coins. Sorry, you fell in poison.
Yes,
So
but don't do it again. Don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
And I think when you die too, it kind of spits you out at like a
It puts you at a checkpoint flag. Yeah.
Yeah, you got checkpoint flags. Yeah,
It's such a tight, wonderful, rewarding experience. And then they made it all the more better when they added the Luigi update, the hide and seek mode.
yes. Oh yes.
I found that was such like it was a small update that added just a very small game mechanic,
Balloon
but it
World.
added so much more like incentive to keep replaying levels to find where people were able to go to then hide their balloons. So that made it a lot of fun. And of course it rewarded you with coins.
Yes.
So if you still needed to buy all those outfits, that's a quick way to make money is just
Yes.
go on balloon hunt.
I liked also the Koopa races. Like they brought that back from Mario 64, where there's a little Koopa dude, and you race him, and your score will be live with like your friends list too. Same thing with like
the challenge bit of those. Yeah.
Yes, and like the jump rope thing too.
I remember we were all like competing against each other. I remember that.
Just little fun things like that.
Fun challenges, yeah.
So the story in these games is usually pretty bare bones or whatever. Mario 64 is, Peach
Bowser put Peach in a painting.
Yeah,
he made her art.
Sunshine is a little weirder and it has some other stuff going on.
Little.
Galaxy has Rosalina and that whole thing, but there's not a whole lot of story. It's more just like Bowser's doing a bad thing. But if you read Rosalina's journals, then it's like, oh, this game is actually trying to say something. Odyssey is very bold in that they gave their characters as much characterization as they did, kind of hearkening back to like them letting Bowser talk in Sunshine. In this game, like they let Mario and Bowser like interact and like fight over Peach, and Peach is just like, you know what, whatever. And
that was a cute ending.
And like Peach talk to you and say like, oh yeah, I'm going on adventures. I think that's after you rescue her. Obviously.
Yep, that was the post game. Because you got a moon for every time you'd find her in each of the worlds.
They gave characterization to them more so than I thought they would. Like, actually showed like Mario be a little vulnerable and like fall on his face in the end, and like Bowser and Mario looking at each other. Like after like you defeat Bowser and like you rescue Peach, and she's like, the heck with you guys. Like the whole thing is that Bowser wants to marry Peach, and it's just such a cute little thing. But it's and then you come in as Mario, and it's like, okay, well now I'm gonna marry you, and at least me as the player thinking that, and she's like, I'm out of here. Actually, I don't want to talk to either of you guys.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, she's like, I'm out of here. And meanwhile, your Cappy is also there to rescue his
sister.
Girl. Oh,
which is the wedding tiara. Yeah, I loved how New Donk City they made Pauline the mayor.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the fact that New Donk City was entirely just Donkey Kong.
Yes,
Donkey Kong everywhere.
Well, I mean, so is the Jump Up Superstar. The song is
that
is
song
Donkey Kong.
Is still on my phone, and I will listen to it from time to time, and I still feel the same levels of happiness that gave me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it gives Pauline like characterization, not just like, oh, she sings a song and that's it, but like it's like there's stuff going on. Like she's singing about stuff and like cute little fun things. Like it's
you
just
have to strike up the band.
It's so surprising the amount of characterization they gave for the characters. So I just love that they did that, and they were Nintendo of all people was comfortable enough. Like, well, no, we just want it to be Mario saves the day and that's it. Like they actually let some fun things happen. There'd be some vulnerabilities, small as they are. That Mario, yeah.
I thought what was a really cool level design bit that they had in every single level was like the retro. Like you'd go through like the 8-bit pipe, and then it would turn to 2D, and you'd venture through as like 2D Mario. I thought that was really fun and inventive too.
It's just the frickin' best, dude. I wished it would never end. And when I finally got the 1000th one or whatever it was, it's just like, oh,
and your balloon turned gold.
Yeah, it's like, dang, man. But I haven't played it since probably 2018. Believe it or not, because it came out in 2017, I think I was playing it on and off for, that whole time because I wanted it to last forever. So I think if I went back, I would be like, wait, where is this moon again? So it would partially feel new. Mario 64 is still the GOAT. So Odyssey is just underneath it.
With Odyssey, like, I'll agree with you. I haven't touched Mario Odyssey since like 2018, 2019, Whereas like I constantly am going back to Mario 64 to
That's
either
a good
replay
thing
it with
to bring up.
achievements or replay it with like a better rendering engine so it looks better. Like it's to
It
your
is
point.
timeless.
And for a nostalgia factor too. Like if
yeah,
I'm
for sure.
So I'd give it to, I don't disagree with your tier list.
Well, not as much fighting as I thought there would be. Although we did sling out some crazy opinions that I'm sure people will be angry about, which I just love.
Oh, I
That's
can't
just
wait
me.
for the comments. Please have at me.
Well, Jacob, I really appreciate you coming by, man.
I love coming here,
another
man.
6 years. Hopefully, it won't be that long
Yeah.
until the next time.
Yeah.
We love these games.
These games are great.
And you are the only other expert that I can really talk to about it. So I really appreciate you coming out. Hopefully, it won't be long until the next time.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Well then, Ultra Game Bros, you saw it here first. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
See ya.